Everybody knows Cinderella, but the plot twist is that she didn't chase the prince, she didn't beg her stepsister, she didn't force anyone to see her worth. She left the ball when she needed to, she let them miss out on her, and that's why the prince moved mountains for her and to find her. That's what happens when you stop begging someone to be chosen. Think back to when you were a kid on a playground. Remember how badly you wanted to be picked for the team or included in a group, and it literally physically ached when they didn't choose you. What if I told you that energy, that desperate need to be picked, is something that you're still carrying as an adult and you haven't solved it? And the let them theory is the exact antidote to that. Today we're going to talk about something that I think every single one of us needs to hear at least once in their life, and that's the let them theory. But I want to put a twist on it, and I was thinking about this because for me it isn't just about letting people do what they want, it's also about letting them miss out on you. Now let me explain. If people want to underestimate you, if they want to ghost you, if they don't believe in your dream, if they don't invite you, if they choose someone else over you, instead of begging, instead of proving, instead of over-explaining, let them. Because at the end of the day, you're not losing anything, they are. And this video is your reminder that you don't need to force anyone to see your value. You don't need to twist yourself into being palatable just to be chosen. You just need to live fully, authentically, loudly as yourself, and let whoever doesn't get it miss out. So why is it so hard? Why does it feel almost impossible sometimes to just let people do what they need to? It's because deep down, we all want to be accepted. Our brains are wired to crave belonging, whether it's with people who we love, friendships. Thousands of years ago, being kicked out of a tribe meant actual death. So our nervous system still panics when people reject us. That's why you find yourself over-explaining all the time, over-proving, or shrinking yourself just to keep the peace in the situation. But the thing is that this isn't the cave era anymore. You're not going to starve because someone didn't like your outfit or didn't invite you to a party. You're not going to die because someone unfollowed you on Instagram. It doesn't matter. All that happens is you give your energy away to people who don't deserve it. And that, my love, is the real loss in this day and age. And so let's flip that perspective. The next time someone overlooks you, doubts you, or dismisses you, instead of spiraling into what's wrong with me, I want you to just literally say out loud that let them miss out on me. It's okay. Let them not text you back because one day they'll see your glow up and realize they lost access to you forever. Let them say you're not good enough because you're thriving. They'll know when they get it wrong. Let them doubt your dream because success is the loudest clapback you can give them, and not your words. And again, I'm not saying this from a place of revenge. This isn't about keeping score and proving them all the time. This is about knowing that when you stop wasting time trying to force people to stay, you finally create that free space for the people who actually deserve to be there, and free space for you to do whatever you want to and grow in life because your energy is not in that area anymore. Because the truth is that the right people, they don't need any convincing. They don't need a PowerPoint presentation on your worth. They will see it. They just see it and they just get it and stay with you. Maybe it's in dating. You're texting someone, they're inconsistent, they're flaky, and you're sitting there wondering, why don't they want me? Pause and just let them go entertain someone else. Let them miss the chance to date the most wonderful human being they could have ever had, the most wonderful version of you that's going to be glowing, magnetic, unstoppable in a year. That's their loss. Maybe it's in friendships. You always show up, but when it's their turn, crickets. Instead of begging for reciprocal behavior, let them keep living small while you expand. And one day they'll look up and see you surrounded by people who give the same energy back to you. That's it. Maybe it's family or co-workers who don't believe in your vision anymore. You say you want to start a business and they roll their eyes. You say you're moving to a new city, they'll doubt you. Instead of defending yourself and your vision endlessly all the time, let them stay in their bubble, because eventually your reality, when you're working on it, will speak louder than any argument ever could. And while they're doubting you, you're building. That's what you're doing. You're building on yourself. While they're underestimating you, you're elevating, and that's the whole power of letting them do what they need to. Psychology shows us that people value what they can't access easily. The more you make yourself available to those who don't value your time and to people who just don't value you as a person, the less they'll respect you. But the second that you step back, the second you protect your peace, suddenly they notice. It's human nature. When there's scarcity of something, it feels valuable. When something is abundant, it gets taken for granted, unfortunately. So when you let them, when you stop explaining, chasing, proving, you reclaim your power. You teach people through your absence, and you show them that I don't need you to validate me. I'm already whole as a person, and it's your loss. Whether you keep me in your life or no, whatever it is, it's your loss. And that's magnetic. That's what attracts better people who are more aligned with you, and better opportunities and better experiences in your life. Okay, so how do I actually apply this? How do I do this? I understand that I need to let people do what they want, but how do I actually apply this? Because I know that it's one thing to say let them, and then another complete different ballgame to actually truly energetically let them. So here's how I do it is I pause before reacting. The next time that someone disappoints you, instead of chasing or arguing, just stop, take a breath, say to yourself, let them, and feel it in your bones when you say that. Number 2 is to shift the focus back to you. You are the center of your own life. You are the center of your universe. Shift the focus back. If they didn't invite you, cool. Use that time to do something that fills you up, fills you with happiness. Read, create, move your body, work on your goals, absolutely anything that gives you happiness. And then 3 is to remind yourself who misses out. It's not you, it's them. You're not losing anything valuable by releasing someone then respect or see you for what you are. They are losing access to you. You're so valuable and they're losing access to that. And then 4th is to affirm your worth. Literally, look into the mirror and say, anyone who doesn't choose me is just making space for someone better to come into my life, and I'm not for everyone, and that's my power. That's where my power in life lies, is that they're just making space for better people to come into my life, and who wins? Me. Who loses? Them. And I want you to practice this over and over, and I promise it will become natural to you, your second nature. Instead of spiraling when people don't show up for you, you will start to feel the calmness, because you'll know that their absence doesn't make you any less, it just makes space for better. And there's this fascinating psychology study that's called the Regret of Omission. It shows that in the long run, people regret the chances they didn't take way more than the mistakes they actually make. Think about how powerful that is when it comes to the let them theory. If someone doesn't choose you, if they overlook you, if they walk away, the regret of missing out on you is going to weigh heavier on them later than it ever will on you. It's like in the movies when the main character has a glow up and suddenly everyone who doubted them years ago is sitting there like, wait, I had access to that and I didn't see it. That's exactly what letting them miss out on you does. You don't have to force closure. You don't have to chase validation. That is not what I'm trying to say. Their own psychology will catch up to them, and the regret of omission always hits harder. But over here, I want to add that you can't really let someone miss out on you if you don't believe there's something worth missing out on. That's a pretty powerful one. That's where self-worth comes in. My favorite word. If deep down you're telling yourself that you're boring, you add no value, they add value to your life, they are the price, and you're just lucky to be there in that group setting or at that party, then of course you're bound to keep running back, because that's the prize and you're chasing. Texting, asking them why didn't you invite me? You'll sabotage this whole theory. The let them theory only works very effectively when you know you are the one with something precious to offer to any situation. When you truly understand that your energy, your love, the way you are, the way you nurture, the way you love people, your presence is so valuable. Then you can step back with peace and say, okay, let them miss it. And if you're struggling with that, then this theory is really not going to apply to you. It's not about chasing harder. It's about working on your self-worth and building the belief that you are, in fact, worth missing out on. When you refuse to let people miss out on you, you're not just clinging to them, you're actually robbing them of their own lesson. Think about it. Some people only grow when they feel the absence of what they took for granted. But every time that you run back, every tiny time that you run back when you're disrespected, every time you explain yourself being like one more time, every time you keep the door open when they've already slammed it shut with disrespect, you're cushioning them from the very discomfort that could have taught them your worth. You're protecting them from their own regret, and that's not loyalty, that's not love, that's enabling. And it's not fair to you either. Imagine being the substitute teacher who always steps in no matter what, and no one has to face the consequences of their choices. They don't learn discipline, they never are in detention, they don't learn responsibility, they don't even learn how valuable your presence was because you're always there, because you never let them experience that. Sometimes the harshest truth is that the let them theory isn't just protecting your peace, it's also a cosmic balance. It's about giving people the dignity of their own consequences. And so when you finally step back, when you finally allow them to sit in that silence, in emptiness, in the gap where your energy used to be, that silence becomes their teacher. That absence becomes a mirror that forces them to see what they've lost. And the greatest gift you can give yourself is knowing that you don't need to stick around to narrate that regret. You don't need to write paragraphs for what they lost. They'll realize that. You can walk away, live your life, and trust that if they ever do realize your worth, it'll be an echo of the space that you left behind. I love how I'm doing word plays here and there, but it makes sense. And here's what I want to, again, with this, it also gets tricky. I want to call some of you out, because if you're using the let them theory as a strategy just to make sure people come running back to you, miss you, then you're not actually living it. You're just playing games. Think about it. You disappear to teach them a lesson and then obsessively wait for them to notice that you've disappeared. That's not growth, and that's manipulation. And what happens is that they eventually do come back. They treat you the same way again, and then you do the same disappearing act again. And it becomes this toxic cycle of push and pull where none of you are growing and you never actually move forward from it. The real let them theory isn't about punishing someone. It's about reclaiming your energy. It's about saying that, you know what? If that's how you want to move, fine, I'm moving too. I'm moving forward towards my own joy, my own life, and my own growth. Let me give you an example. Something like small. Say that you weren't invited to a party, and if you're constantly refreshing their stories, stalking their feed, and secretly hoping that they'll realize you're not there and suddenly call you. That's not letting them. That's obsession, and that's control, which never works out in the right way. And that's still keeping your energy tied to them. Truly letting them means that you tell yourself, okay, I wasn't invited, that's fine, I let them, I'll go on with my life. And then actually let go. Feel that energy go back to them. You redirect that energy into your own life. You go out alone, you do something you love, with people you love, and you fill that space with people and things that actually lift you. That's where your growth comes from. Not in pretending that you don't care, but in genuinely releasing that care, and you'll feel lighter as well. And yes, I know it's harder when you're younger, when you're in school and popularity feels like everything. Not being invited to one hangout will feel like the end of the world. But trust me, if you start developing this mindset earlier on, it will save so much time and pain later. Because when you hit your 20s, when everyone's busy building their lives, their careers, their businesses, fitness journeys, and there's so many priorities people have, you realize that everyone's priorities shift. Not everyone is going to invite you everywhere. Not everyone is going to understand you. Not everyone is going to go by what you say. That's okay. The let them theory helps you stop obsessing over fitting in every circle and instead focus on building a life that's fulfilling for you. So to truly master this, let them do what they want, and while they're doing that, you focus on becoming so fulfilled, so magnetic and unstoppable that whether they notice or not doesn't even matter for you. That's when you won. And that's when the theory actually works.